Guys, Colin Barton here, and today I'm bringing you what I think are the top 10 best people to ever play Big Brother Minecraft. Now, I binge watched every episode from seasons 1 through 4 and came up with a top 10 that I think will satisfy most of you. So anyways guys, let's get right into the countdown, number 10. So coming in at our number 10 spot, we have Andrew from season 1. Now the reason why I'm putting him on this list is simply because he played a very good social game. The mental game wasn't that bad. He and Jeremy formed the first ever alliance in Big Brother Minecraft history, being Operation Defrost. And he managed to slowly work his way through the game. If it wasn't for Justin it wasn't for him and Justin not being aligned together near Final Four, he probably could have won the whole game. But Justin turned on him in Final Four and wanted to keep who he thought was his ally at the time, and Brendan, and vote him out. So Andrew, good player as well, comes in at number 10. Okay, so this is my shock spiel. Coming in at number 9, we actually have one of the winners of Big Brother Minecraft. At number 9, we have Shane from season 2. Now, ironically, from what I heard from Andrew, Shane was actually a backup and wasn't even supposed to be in the main cast. But since someone couldn't show up, he took that spot. But Shane, I don't think he deserved to win the season. But to be honest, he did play somewhat of it. He did still play a game that was top 10 of all time worthy. He had a pretty good social game, and he managed to save his alliance in a few situations, and I don't really mind it that bad. Now, I don't mind it that bad that he won, especially since it came birth the 6-1 meme, but I'll explain why he shouldn't have won with a pick later on. But anyway, Shane, great job, comes in at number 9. Alright, so coming in at number 8, we have a pick that once again will shock a lot of people, considering that he's probably a personal favorite with many people. However, when it comes to actually strategy-wise, that's why he's so low on this list. At number 8, we have Lambo from seasons 2 and 3. Now, Lambo, he's probably one of the most popular people, if not the most popular person to ever play Big Brother Minecraft. And I will admit, he is very funny, and I do really like him, personally. However, when it comes to strategy, he probably was the underdog for both of his seasons. The Guardians in season 2 wanted him out towards a point, and unfortunately, the week they wanted him out, they managed to get rid of him. However, in season 3, if he had only played in season 2 and hadn't come back, he probably would have only been an honorable mention and not even made this list. However, in season 3, he really stepped up his game. He increased social game, his mental game got a big boost, and he managed to win comps where he needed to, and came so close to winning the game. If it wasn't for Alec in his comp run, if it wasn't for Alec winning so many comps, and I'll get to Alec later, Lamb might have won season 3. But unfortunately, failed to do that. But Lambo, still a very good player, comes in at number 8. Alright, so coming in at number 7, we have the runner-up from season 3, Thomas. Now, the reason why Thomas is not number 7 is simply because he had an amazing social game. Probably one of the best social games I've ever seen on Big Brother Minecraft. However, the main problem with him, in my opinion, is the fact that he knew that Alec was a comp beast. Because Alec literally won 9 comps. Like, I'll get to Alec later. But he managed to do so good, and the only way I think Thomas probably could have won is if he had managed to win that final HOH and managed to blindside Alec in final 3. If I was Thomas, I would have tried to win that final HOH, and then between Alec and Gunnar, take out Alec and Thomas and Gunnar would be in final 2. And in my opinion, from what the jury was saying, Thomas, in my opinion, would have had a better shot to win if he was up against Gunnar than against Alec. And so Thomas, however, he still managed to do a great social and decent mental game, and he managed to do he still played a great game, and if it wasn't for Alec winning so many comps, he probably could have won that season. If it was in season 2 up against either Shane or Ben in final 2, he probably would have won. But unfortunately, jury preferred comps over strategy, so Thomas comes in at number 7. So coming in at number 6, ironically, we have another runner-up. It's the runner-up from season 4, and that is All-Ranks. Now, All-Ranks, he played a very good game. However, the one problem is, he managed to trust Joe so much that he took Joe to the end. He wanted to go to the end with Joe, when if he had gone up against Olivia, it probably would have been maybe the first ever 7-0 vote in Big Brother Minecraft history. Just because Olivia was pretty much a Victoria that season, and even though just like Victoria, the only comp she won was 1 power of veto. That's it. And so, personally, All Ranks, I think, kind of got robbed in the season. And I knew if he and Olivia were in the final 2, he might have been the first ever unanimous win. Probably would have been ironically another 6-1 vote, but you never know. But All Ranks, one of my personal favorites, comes in at number 6. So coming in at number 5, we have the person I've mentioned in two other entries already. We have the winner of season 3, Alec. Now Alec, this dude is I'm pretty sure as far as I know, has one of the most comps out of anyone in Big Brother Minecraft history for a single season. Now, 5 HOHs, 4 POVs, it might be that or vice versa, I'm not sure. But still, 9 comp wins in one season, that is definitely a great achievement. Especially if you think about it, remember, there was only 12 people on the season. Let me be honest, because we had 7 newbies, one of them being him, and then 5 returners. He only had 12 people on the season. And so to win 9 comps in only about, I'd say 10 weeks, I think, was a humongous accomplishment. Because think about it, 20 comps in 10 weeks. 20 comps, 10 weeks. He won 12 comps, which means he won 6 tenths. He won 3/5 of the comps that season. As far as I remember, he won 3/5 of the comps that season. That just proves how much of a comp beast you are. And normally I don't favor comp beasts, because that's only the strategy. But he also had a pretty good strategy game too. He formed a big alliance. He formed a very strong alliance with Jesse and Thomas early on in the game. And if Jesse hadn't in fact quit week 3, that could have easily been the final 3 in that season. And I have a good Alec, probably one of my favorite winners. He comes at the number 5 spot. So coming in at number 4, we have someone that's probably gonna shock a lot of you. Someone that you probably didn't even expect to be on this list. At number 4, we have Kyle or Go-Go Man. Kyle or Go-Go Man from Season 4. Season 4, sorry. But Kyle, he and David were a very dominant alliance. And unlike some Final 2 alliances where one person drags the other person in, cough cough, Jarek and Cody, cough cough. Friggin' Kyle, he actually had a pretty good mental game. David managed to do the comps and had a pretty good mental game, but he also had a big target on his back in Saboteur, and I'll get to David later. But Kyle managed to work it behind the scenes and was sort of the puppet master in 1 or 2 eliminations. Now, a lot of people might say he's kind of overrated, or some people might say he doesn't deserve to be at this time of the list, but personally, I think he's one of the best people to ever play. And so, Kyle, you come in at a number 4 spot. So, coming in at number 3, we have in my opinion, if it was a personal list off of my personal bias, he'd probably be the best. He'd probably be number 1. But I gotta go off what I think the majority of people would. I gotta go off all directions. However, if it was a personal list, he'd probably be number 1. We have David from Season 4, and he'll also be on All Stars, which I'm hyped to see that. David, he is definitely a very mental player, because you have to be the Saboteur, because in the real life Big Brother, Andy, that sort got evicted week 1. And David made it all the way to the final 5. And he managed to work his way through that game mentally and physically by managing to win comps when he had to, and even when the power alliance of All Ranks, Joe, and Olivia went after him, he managed to fight him off for a few weeks before finally being evicted in Final 5. That dude played an amazing game. David, if you're watching this, you're awesome, dude. David, he would have been number 1 if it was a personal list, but David comes in at number 3. Now we're down to the bottom 2. So coming in at number 2, we have another winner. We have the winner of Season 4, Joe. Now, Joe, this dude is what I would call kind of the Dr. Will of Big Brother, and even though a lot of you might think it's another certain person, Joe managed to work his way through the game while making All Ranks the bigger target, and managing to use All Ranks as a shield for practically the entire freaking game. So Joe, it's short and sweet, but Joe managed to work his way through that game so good that I think he deserved to win over All Ranks, even though All Ranks, I do admit, if All Ranks had taken to Olivia, probably would have won. But as soon as I found out All Ranks and Joe were found 2, I knew Joe had, as soon as All Ranks from Joe made found 2, I knew Joe had it in the bag. So Joe, you're a great winner, buddy. You come in at number 2. Now, before I get to number 1, time to throw in some honorable mentions. Now, our first honorable mention is ironically someone from 4.5, just because, 1, they messaged me to put him in the list before I did it, but mainly just because he actually did have a decent game, and that is Brady from 4.5. Now, Brady the Banana. He managed to have a pretty decent social game, and his game was not that bad, and I really thought he had some potential, and I'm glad that he's coming back for All-Stars, because I hope he can get a really good chance to redeem himself. So Brady's our first honorable mention. Our second honorable mention goes to the first ever winner of Big Brother Minecraft, Jeremy. I was really tempted to put Jeremy on this list at number 10 instead of Andrew, but then I realized there was some stuff Andrew did that Jeremy failed to do. Jeremy mainly had social game and comps, but I prefer mental game over both of those, so that's kind of why Jeremy didn't make this list. So Jeremy, you're my second honorable mention. And our last honorable mention goes to, as Circa of Season 4, the only player to ever play 3 times, Brendan/Marty. Now, Brendan, he was kind of an idiot in Season 1. He made it to Final 2 mainly, in my opinion, by dumb luck. However, when he was with Marty in Seasons 3 and 4, he managed to do a lot better than I thought he would do. And he was the first person to ever gain entry back inside the house due to the Barrel Black comp in Season 3. And he managed to break a lot of history. And Marty, however, if he had made a few more moves and possibly would have won one of those 2 seasons, he probably would have made it on the list. But Marty's our Marty's our third and final honorable mention. Now let's get to number 1 spot. Now, this was a very contested. The top 3 picks, the 3, 2, and 1 spots, I was going, for about the last 10 minutes before I started recording this, I went back and forth determining who should be number 1. Because all 3 of them could have easily taken this spot. However, number 1, I'm going with the person who I think is probably the best player to ever play Big Brother Minecraft. And he's also going to be an All-Star, so I'm very happy to see him back. Number 1 goes to Ben from Season 2. Now, hear me out. Ben, he played probably one of the best. If there's anyone to be called a Dr. Will or Mike Boogie in Big World of Minecraft so far, it's him. He managed to make an amazing social game, formed the Final Four Power Alliance in season 2 that pretty much did very incredibly well, probably better than someone. Considering they made it when there were still 16 people left in the game, he definitely managed to carry that alliance. He and Shane carried that alliance throughout the entire game. Mad props to Ben. And Ben, he is just an incredible player overall. Strategic, social, physical. He managed to do all of that. He managed to do all of it without almost anyone thinking going off his tail. And if the jury wasn't that damn bitter in season 2, he probably should have won the whole thing. And now personally, plus Ben, he also spawned two of the most popular memes in regular Minecraft. Blame Ben in 6-1, so obviously. But Ben, in all seriousness, he's an amazing guy. He comes in our #1 pick. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to subscribe, that'd be awesome. Once Big Brother All-Star starts, I'll be doing recaps of every episode after it comes out on what happened and what my personal opinion. Now, if you want me to do more countdowns, I'm really thinking about doing a top 5 most underrated players in Big Brother Minecraft history, or top 5 best pre-jurors list. If you guys want to see that. Because I have lists for both of those if you want to see that. Now comment down below what Big Brother Minecraft related countdown I should do, and I'll try my best to do it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.